Gloria Lybecker here with Healing You. I like to take time to reflect on my relationships with my loved ones. Do you take the time to do that? What influences our feelings and perceptions and behaviors as evolving human beings? Are you consciously creating a nurturing environment where safety and trust influence the activation of genes and sculpt the structures of the brain? The genes that children inherit influence their development and shape the inborn characteristics of their nervous system. Their experiences also directly shape their development and influence which genes are activated. Relationships that provide contingency, responses to other people's signals with a quality and intensity and timing that clearly reflects the signals that were sent, especially when emotions are heightened, it offers our loved ones repeated experiences where they feel connected, understood, and protected. I noticed when I was homeschooling my youngest son, Rylan, that rather than sharing a mutual sense of interest and wonder as we focused on learning, Rylan would shut down and then he'd change the subject. I would feel tight tension when that would happen. I would become rigid and very intent on my specific strategy to provide the foundation necessary for his learning to take place. Oh, and when I insisted on continuing with my focus, he would explode with anger and then literally fall asleep. This mystified me. So I took the time to slow everything down inside of me. And I noticed that I had an inner story. And that inner story was running around in the background. I was telling myself that my strategy was the only one available. Well, with this repeated experience, it created a very relationally stressful environment for my son. And his body and brain quickly became accustomed to very high levels of cortisol, epinephrine, and norepinephrine, chemicals that the adrenal glands pump out when we're stressed, which influenced him to feel very threatened and very unsafe. High levels of cortisol can cause us to feel overwhelmed and fearful. It colors our thoughts and our feelings and perceptions with a sense of dread, as if everything we need to do is just way too hard. Epinephrine and norepinephrine can strongly affect our mood too. It tells our liver to release glucose, our hearts to pump faster, fat stores to release fat, and our muscles to mobilize energy stores. And when it's strongly activated, rather than helping us to feel alert with clear thinking, just like cortisol, they cause us to feel anxious or angry or both. We can become intensely focused on real or imagined threats and move into a hyper arousal state, which activates our fight or flight impulses of aggression or withdrawal and avoidance. Well, I am forever grateful that I could call my empathy buddy for support. And I did. And by getting support, I was able to hold a part of myself that was really desperate to be seen with warmth and compassionate understanding. You see, as an adolescent, I myself had such a hard time learning how to form healthy relationships with my peers. There was this part of me that was still stuck in hopelessness that it was possible to connect creatively with preteens and to have fun with learning. So what a relief it was just to touch base with this old story and to begin to glimpse the beautiful needs underneath. When I sank into this moment, letting all of the sensations, all of the inner pictures and thoughts and sounds float by, I felt my body soften and my stomach relaxed as I willingly let go and the story unraveled and dissipated. When we're held with attuned resonance and empathy, our bodies, our emotions, and states of minds come into balance. And we're able to attain a sense of integration internally and feel connected in our relationships with others. Then our brain's neurochemicals, the opioids and oxytocin, are activated in combination, and we can experience the deepest sense of calm and contentment and develop the capacity to remain open-hearted to life. These chemicals can only be activated in the brain through warm human connection. So I remember another day when Rylan was giving me a good morning hug. He asked me, he goes, "Mom, can I do Sim Social first?" I smiled into his eyes and gave him an affectionate squeeze, and I said, "Absolutely." His eyes widened with surprise, and he joyfully gave me a much stronger embrace, exclaiming, "Thanks, Mom. I love you so much." When we continued to stay in dialogue around how to keep the learning fun and engaging, it also included lots of freedom of choice and space for both of us. A key aspect of this being successful was maintaining a safe, warm environment, attuning my internal state with my son's nonverbal signals, and taking any distress seriously by not making either of us wrong, and providing consistent, warm, physical contact to release those wonderful stress-relieving chemicals. Relationships are healing. And thanks for being on this journey with me today. Healing you.